Last night, the A's green bats turned to gold as they pounded out 7 runs on 11 hits and 2 long balls. Matching the A's hitting, the young staff set a season high with 14 strikeouts and ended the potent Tiger streak of 12 straight games with a home run. Tonight, young Gio Gonzalez gets his second chance to put his claim on the 5th spot in the rotation. A's, Tigers, coming up next. After a win last night, A's are back to work tonight. Fans coming into the Oakland Coliseum. It'll be Gio Gonzalez, the starting pitcher for the Athletics tonight. He'll be opposed by Armando Galarraga. So a lefty against a righty. A's win last night 7-1, and they'll try to make it 2 in a row. It's the Tigers and the Athletics. Game 2 of this 3-game series. It's coming up right here on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. The A's offense is starting to show some life. The group has collected 36 hits in the last 3 games, and Ryan Sweeney is red hot, back-to-back 3-hit games.
And I think his approach has been outstanding. First of all, using the whole field, especially left field. He's taking pitches away from him and going to the opposite field like that. Ball sinks away from him instead of trying to pull it and rolling over for a ground ball, but double play. He's doing a great job. There's a base hit because nobody covered first. But the most impressive thing is the way he's starting to turn on the ball. A little adjustment with Jim Scanlon, the A's hitting coach. It helped him last night against the lefty. Fastball is supposed to be away. It was inside. He turned on it, and a big home run for the Athletics.
You saw the starting pitcher for the Tigers, Armando Galarraga. The A's faced him earlier this year in Detroit, knocked him out in the first inning.
Well, they knocked him out. Unfortunately, they couldn't hang on and win the game, but they did get to Galarraga, and it started with Adam Kennedy hitting a home run to right field, and that just kind of started the A's in the first inning. They would get to him. He'd come out of the game, but unfortunately, with the 3-game sweep, that was it. But Landon Powell, anytime there's runners on base, he always seems to come through, and he did there with a big double, scoring a couple of runs. So all in all, a great effort by the Athletics. What they needed then is what they got last night, some pitching to hold down the Detroit Tigers. It didn't happen there. Fortunately, it did last night.
Galarraga had a great rookie season, won 13 games last year, but he has struggled in his 2nd season. So we're set to go. We'll have lineups and first pitch when we come back. It's the Detroit Tigers and the Oakland A's coming up on Comcast Sportsnet, California. A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Comcast HD, with more HD than anyone, period. Let's look at our game time weather, brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission is free. The boardwalk is open daily. Cool night, 63 degrees. Under mostly clear skies. Sunshine in all of right field and center field still. So a comfortable night as we get set for game 2 of the 3-game series. The A's and the Detroit Tigers. Tigers, the first of 2 trips to Oakland this year. They'll come back in the month of August. Lineup for the Tigers tonight brought to you by McDonald's. Curtis Granderson, Placido Polanco, Miguel Cabrera, Marcus Timms, Ryan Raybert, Brandon Inge, Maggie Ordonez. Dusty Ryan is the catcher tonight. Adam Everett at shortstop. Holiday, Sweeney, and Cust in the outfield for the Athletics. Kennedy, Cabrera, Ellis Giambi on the infield. And Kurt Suzuki is the catcher for Gio Gonzalez.
As mentioned, Gio Gonzalez making his second start since returning from AAA. 4th appearance, of course, a couple of out of the A's bullpen. 9th major league start for Gio, and in his last start was not that great. And, of course, he wants to improve on that. And get out of the first inning, I think, would be a big bonus for him to be able to do that. Good fastball, curveball, and changeup. Velocity is good. And as I mentioned in our pregame, just believe in himself. And for a young pitcher who is the Chicago White Sox, Philadelphia Phillies, back to Chicago, to Oakland, and still, 23. So all these transactions happening. So there's no doubt 3 organizations wanted his services, and the A's have him now. Thanks to the trade to Chicago with Nick Swisher, and Ryan Sweeney came over. And there's a tribute to Josh Outman, who today had surgery. So all the boys, just for tonight, Dallas Braden was quick to point out that no, this will not be an everyday thing, just tonight in honor of Josh Outman. And we hope he is doing well after surgery and hope to get him back soon.
So Gonzalez is ready. Curtis Granderson steps in the box. And the first pitch of the ball game is just a bit low, so we're underway. 7:08, first pitch from the Coliseum. Gio Gonzalez had a start last year against the Detroit Tigers, and it was not a good one. Ray, talking to Gio Gonzalez, he is a confident young man, but I do think he needs for himself to have some success at the big league level. And let me have it soon, just to let himself and everybody else know that he is a big league pitcher. And we've said it before, the stuff is there.
Number 14, second baseman, Placido.
And they put all the intangibles together.
Numbers at AAA you just saw, and just a little bit under 20 innings of shutout baseball and 3 starts. But this is the show, as they say. It's the big leagues, and have to make it happen here.
First pitch to Polanco is a strike.
And I think in facing Granderson, a left-handed batter, for a left-hander, sometimes that's a bad thing, because it kind of changes. You don't normally see a lot of lefties in a lineup against a left-handed pitcher, but you have one leading off, 4 pitches, all 4 balls, and he's got to face a tough hitter, Polanco.
Well, Granderson is the only lefty in their lineup.
Well, the main thing, and Granderson, of course, with excellent speed, 5-tool player. Main thing for Gio Gonzalez to throw strikes. Let the defenders do the work. That's the main thing.
That one's lined down the left field line. It is gone. 2-run homer by Polanco just inside the foul pole.
The defenders can't help you with that one.
2 batters into the game. It's 2-0 Detroit.
One fastball, want to go inside, and that quick stroke by Polanco does not hit a lot of home runs, but that he just dropped the head of the bat, went right down the left field line, just over the 330 side. Didn't make it into the barbecue terrace, but it was smoking hot anyway.
So number 5 for Polanco on the year.
17th of May, Galarraga gave up 5 to the A's in 2/3 of an inning, didn't make it out of the first, and his club came back and won the game. So the A's already an uphill battle. They will do it against Galarraga tonight.
Just missed 2-1 to Miguel Cabrera.
Well, you don't need to have an umpire with a tight strike.
No.
You want a little leeway if you can get it, but we shall see.
3-1. The umpire is Lance Barksdale calling balls and strikes. Angel Hernandez at first. Randy Marsh, the crew chief, is at second. And Marvin Hudson down at third. Three and two now to Cabrera. The Tigers with a 42-34 record. They have a 4-game lead over both the White Sox and the Twins in the AL Central. They're 19-23 on the road. Swing and a miss. There's the good fastball from Gio Gonzalez.
That's a big confidence boost right there to get one of the top hitters in all of baseball. With a 3-2 hitter, just rear back challenged him. Cabrera wanted to match what Polanco did, but couldn't catch up to the fastball.
One out. Here's Marcus Timms. Timms, the DH and the cleanup hitter last night as well. He went 0 for 2, had a couple of walks in the game. So 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. Did not put the ball in play. Ryan Rayburn is in the on-deck circle. The Tigers' starting pitcher tonight, Armando Galarraga.
So nothing but fastballs. First 17 pitches, and that's trying to establish it early, and not a bad idea.
Swing and a miss. Well, even the pitches he's missed on, he's missing by a lot.
Just on the outside corner, you're right, and that's quality pitch there. Suzuki smartly setting up right in the middle of the plate.
Now that one got a little bit in the middle of the plate. Timms fouled it straight back. Timms with 5 home runs and 12 RBIs. Spent some time on the disabled list this year. Gets through in the left field for a base hit. Kennedy dived, Cabrera dived, but neither could come up with it. So Timms has his first hit in the series.
Again, another fastball, and he's fouled one back that got quite a bit of the plate, but this one able to roll over and hit it hard enough, and actually too hard for the 2 guys diving to come up with it.
So Ryan Rayburn will hit. There's the fastball on the outside corner for a strike.
Last night, Brett Anderson threw a lot of pitches in the first inning, able to go 5 1/3, struck out 7, gave up just 1 run and picked up the win. Minimize the damage for Gio tonight in this first inning.
Well, that one's driven right center and deep. Cuss back near the wall, and it's over his head up against the wall. Timms to third, and they will hold him, and he ran through the stop sign, and now they're in a rundown.
All the way back. Don't throw it, just running back.
Rayburn to third, so 2 guys are at third.
Tag them both. One of them's out.
You're going to get one for sure. We'll see which one it is. Rayburn is going to be called out. Marcus Timms, he just kept chugging right through. Gene Lamont waited and waited, and then he held him up, but he gave Timms enough time to stop. He just kept right on rolling, and when he did stop, it was too late.
Well, surprisingly, I mean, he could have walked home, you would think, considering the location of the ball. It was clearly over the head, but the guy's got it back in. He hesitated there. That's the surprising part. definitely gone too far, and the A's knew they were going to get one out with Rayburn going all the way to third base. And that's why you never throw the ball when you have two runners at second. Relay coming in, and a good one to Mark Ellis, who threw to third. Adam Kennedy with a run down, getting it to Kurt Suzuki.
So they're going to explain to us exactly what happened. It is a double, so Rayburn's going to get a double.
9-4-5-2 on the rundown. So that would be Rayburn, though. That's the 9-4-5-2.
Yeah, Rayburn is out. Timms is the runner at third.
Third baseman, number 15, Brandon Inge.
Kurt Young, after Bob Guerin was arguing with third base umpire Marvin Hudson, had to kind of calm down the left-hander. Got a break, because that could have been another run, a runner at second, maybe even third.
Yeah, that's a huge play. So Timms at third, 2 outs now here in the top of the first.
That's why we talk about their base stealers and their base runners. And sometimes you can be a good base runner, but a horrible base stealer. And there's a case that Marcus Timms is a bad base runner. And caused Rayburn to be called out after hitting the double, which again should have been an RBI and maybe even a triple. Did hit it hard, but A's got a break.
So 1-1 to Brandon Inge. Inge, a tough out. Tied for 6th in the American League with 18 home runs. He's got 51 runs batted in. 51 RBIs. Leads the team. Slider breaks inside. So now 3-1. Magglio Ordonez is in the on deck circle. Swing and a miss. There's the good fastball from Gonzalez. So you look at the miles per hour, you see 92, 93, which is pretty good, but it looks like it has a little late life to it.
And it also looks like the hitters are guessing fastball, knowing they're going to get the fastball. Is most hitters who have hit the ball in this inning have gotten the fastball. They're just maybe swinging too hard.
Good breaking pitch. Inge strikes out. So it could have been worse. The 2-run homer by Polanco, and that's it. So Galarraga to take them out. 2-0 Tigers.
Leading off for the Athletics, third baseman, number 29, Adam Kennedy.
2-0 Tigers after half an inning. The A's lineup is brought to you by McDonald's. Kennedy is the third baseman. Cabrera the shortstop. Holiday in left. Giambi at first. Kurt Suzuki is the catcher. Ryan Sweeney in center. Omar Garcia-Parra the DH. Jack Cust is in right. And the second baseman is Mark Ellis. Defensively for the Tigers, Rayburn, Granderson, Ordonez in the outfield. Inge, Everett, Polanco, Cabrera on the infield. It'll be Dusty Ryan doing the catching tonight for Armando Galarraga, 27-year-old right-hander. A frustrating year for Galarraga so far. I'll show you his numbers in a moment. Kennedy hitting .291 with 6 home runs, 25 runs batted in. Kennedy, a couple hits last night, scored a run. 15th consecutive game that he has been in the leadoff spot. With their win last night, the A's picked up their 32nd win of the year, so they are 32-43, still 11 games under the 500 mark.
And they need a win tonight to have a 500 month of June, which if they don't, amazing to go back to 1993, the last team to have losing month the first 3 of the season.
Pitch just a bit low, so a leadoff walk to Adam Kennedy.
Galarraga won his first 3 decisions.
Second position. Shortstop.
But then
number 18,
he had 3 losses and then a no decision to the A's and then lost 4 more. So yeah, and he won his last start. So you can look at his numbers: .565 earned run average, 16 start, 16 home runs, 3rd in the American League. So say it's hopeful for the A's if those numbers continue that get back in this game and not worry so much about Polanco's 2-run home run. Oh, all right. No
Looked
gifts,
a little low.
No gifts necessary. And they heard it from the bench, too. Wow. No way. See him turning his head to the left, which meant some of the guys from the dugout at ground level could see what we saw. Galarraga, 3-pitch pitcher, fastball, slider, changeup, fastball, and tops out about 92, 93 at the most. Does have some tailing action on it. Basically the sinker slider pitcher, which you'd see a lot of relievers with just those 2 pitches. So the low strike, the first one, called a strike and threw a good slider. Got a swing and a miss.
He's got a does have a good slider. We saw that last year when he had the terrific rookie season, going 13-7 in Galarraga. Goes to the slider again, a foul tip, and it's a strikeout. So Cabrera will not be happy with that sequence. Questionable first call.
Batting the 3rd position.
And the at-bat ends on a foul tip in the dirt.
Number 5, Matt Holiday.
Actually was not in the dirt.
I check swing, and if what looked like was in the dirt initially, the fact that maybe they changed direction, and it's pretty obvious that Lance Barksdale heard something, and that's why he called it a foul tip.
First pitch to Matt Holiday is in for a strike. 277 for Holiday, and he's sitting on a 7-game hitting streak. Kennedy with a pretty good lead at first. Strike 2 called on the inside corner. So Lance Barksdale's not real popular right now with the Oakland A's.
Well, that's what I said at the top half of the inning. Don't want an umpire with a tight strike zone, but I mean, he's nodding his head. What else is he going to say when Matt Holiday asks him if it's a strike or not? Yeah, I missed it. No, not too often do you.
Nope.
Do you hear that?
slowly towards short. Everett drops it, and everybody's safe. Everett made an error last night, and he's got an error tonight.
Well, and that's an unnecessary error because he had to realize that Kennedy had a good jump. Charging the ball is only one play, and that was the first base. Then he thought at the last moment, watch him change direction, and then start to go back to second base to Polanco, and that's when he dropped it. Let's go to first, and just could not transfer the ball out of his glove. Right, as I said last night, he's been a very good defensive shortstop, and surprisingly,
it's the reason they signed him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Low to Giambi. So a chance for the A's, a walk and an error.
Yeah, and that's where you want to see. Not able to get off the hook with that. Giambi right at the 200 mark. 45 walks that Jason's received.
And now 2-0. Jason was 0 for 3. He walked and scored in last night's game. Galarraga immediately in trouble here in the bottom of the first inning, even though he has a 2-0 lead. Three and 0. Kurt Suzuki hitting in the 5th spot, waits in the on-deck circle. Outside, a 4-pitch walk, and the A's have the bases loaded with 1 out.
Well, game not too long ago, the A's scored a whole bunch of runs the first inning with that 1 hit. Why not? You love those kind of innings. Matter of fact, they won a game getting just 2 hits with about 4 runs in the first inning.
Well, do you think it's ever happened in Major League Baseball history that a pitcher's been knocked out in the first inning twice in a season against the same team?
That's right.
All right, maybe we're not being completely fair to Armando Galarraga. It was 2/3 of an inning, 4 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, and 41 pitches. That was his start on the 17th of May against the A's. One and 1 to Kurt.
There it is, 2/3 of an inning.
Jim Leyland made that walk, the fast walk to the mound. Right. He had enough. So Kennedy at third, Holiday at second, and Giambi at first. No hits for the A's yet. Bounce to third. Inge has it. He'll go to second for 1. Polanco turns. Got him at first. And Galarraga works his way out of a jam. It's the 5-4-3 double play, and the A's do not score. Ace Baseball and Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Windows. Life without walls. Second inning from the Coliseum. The Tigers with an early 2-0 lead. Placido Polanco, a 2-run homer with the scoring so far. So get Gio Gonzalez a 28-pitch first inning. Try to cut down on that here in the second. He'll face Ordonez, Ryan, and Everett.
Gio had to be thinking and hoping to get some runs out of the bases loaded. No, with one out. Raga able to use the two-seamer, get a ground ball, a double play around the horn.
Ordonez last night was 1 for 4. Struck out a couple times. It's a strike on 3-0. Down around the knees.
Or somewhere. When you say around.
Around the knees. Shallow right, Cuss coming in, still coming in, and he dives, and it pops out of his glove. Ordonez a big turn. He'll stay at first. It'll be a base hit for Magler Ordonez.
Unfortunately, going to a dive or a slide, sometimes the ground will dislodge the baseball. That's what happened. Jack had it up in the webbing, almost a snow cone as it went down. See the snow cone, and then when he hit the ground, it popped out. Unfortunately, towards, or at least in front of him, so he was able to react quickly enough to get the ball to hold Ordonez, who was very thankful for the hit, pulled him to a single.
It's the 4th hit in the game for the Tigers, and here's Dusty Ryan, the catcher. Ryan played a little bit last year, had 44 at-bats for the Tigers. He's from Merced, California, so not a Bay Area guy, but a Northern California guy. How about that? Maybe the Valley. In the area.
Around the knees.
Around the knees. He's got family here. How about that? That's the best way to put it. Way outside, and now it's 3-1. Adam Everett in the on-deck circle. We'll see what Gonzalez goes with in the hitter's count of 3-1. He misses low. So Gonzalez in trouble again here in the second. Second walk, he's got a couple of strikeouts. Bob Guerin says you never know, keep an eye on the butt. And Everett, a long look down at third base coach Gene Lamont.
But usually if they think it's going to be a bunt, they will put a play on, especially first and second would be the real play. Shortstop cover third. It is a bunt. Baseman is charging. So Everett will try to bunt it to Kennedy. There's nobody will be at third base. Another former catcher, former manager, Gene Lamont, longtime coach with Jim Leland.
Those catchers sticking together.
Yep.
Wasn't Gene Lamont in the same draft you were?
Yes, he was.
1965.
Yep.
The bunt, it's a good one. Gonzalez will throw to first in a sacrifice complete for Adam Everett. So So second and third, one out, and it's Curtis Granderson.
Number 28, Curtis Granderson.
Granderson walked and scored on the Polanco home run in the first inning. He's kept him off the bases. Last night he was 0 for 5 with a couple of strikeouts. Takes that one. Another breaking pitch and another take by Granderson. Your runners, Ordonez at third and Ryan at second. Corner infielders are in on the grass. Middle infielders are back. 3-0. Outfield plays Granderson slightly shaded to right center, but not much.
Unfortunately, wasn't swinging 3-0. Pretty good pitch to hit. Polanco homered off Gio's the on deck circle. Granderson showing a pretty good eye in this at bat.
Hit hard to Kennedy, who's going to get Ordonez in a rundown. Suzuki, he can run him all the way back. He ends up tagging Ordonez, so the out is there. The runners are now at second and third. So another rundown between third and home. Nice play by Adam Kennedy.
You know, the amazing thing is Kennedy right there. Ordonez looked like he had plenty of time. It looked like he's more than a couple of steps down the line. And Kennedy was off the line, but stayed to run down long enough to get a couple of runners at second and third again. But a very good play. Getting a ground ball.
Breaking pitch in for a strike to Polanco. So another important hitter for Gonzalez to get out, even though it's just the second inning. Be a big confidence builder if he can work his way out of this jam, and he's ahead in the count 0-2 to Polanco.
And I think Polanco's looking fastball because he's taken two very good breaking pitches, but he's very confident that he's not going to strike out a lot.
Nice block by Kurt Suzuki. This is what Polanco did in the first inning. Second batter of the game.
Talking about the choking up of Polanco. Short bat, just waits and waits and just drops the head of the bat. Gio provided the power and he just provided a nice swing. It's choking up about a couple of inches tonight.
So now 2-2.
Yeah, you look at the two batters, second and third. Cabrera, a very aggressive free swinger. This guy, it's a tough hitter. And not to say Cabrera's not, but figure Polanco's going to make contact.
Or not.
Ooh, that's great.
That's a good breaking pitch by Gonzalez. He gets his third strikeout, and the Tigers do not score in the top of the second. Bottom of the second coming up. It'll be Sweeney, Garcia Parra, and Cuss. Tigers with a 2-0 lead. Ryan Sweeney will lead it off for the Athletics here in the bottom of the second inning. A red hot hitter is Ryan Sweeney right now. 3 hits on Sunday, 3 hits last night, and 7 hits in his last 9 at bats. He's got the magic wand going right now.
You like those magic wands. That's especially, you have to enjoy that when it is magic, because you're going to run into a time when it's not.
A long run, and it's dropped by Rayburn, and it's a foul ball. He just crossed over the line. When he reached up, it popped out of his glove.
Although the ball did bounce back into fair territory, Jim Liddon's got to be thinking 1-7 coming into this year, playing in Oakland. And just barely, and of course, third base umpire Marvin Hudson looking down the line. He's not where he was standing, he's where the ball actually hit the glove, and like it was in foul territory. I guess there's no argument.
It is going to be an error. So that's the second error in this game by the Tigers.
It'd be nice if it was a 2 or 3 base error. Stay in fair territory. If you're going to drop a ball, at least be in fair territory.
The Tigers have done a pretty good job this year defensively, but they now have 3 errors in this series. Swing and a miss. There's that good slider right there. Sweeney strikes out.
Final game of the series tomorrow with the Tigers is a double play Wednesday. First pitch is at 12:35, and you can get Plaza reserved and outfield tickets for $2 and hot dogs for just $1. Courtesy, as always, of Bart. Get tickets online now at oaklandathletics.com or call 877-493-BALL.
Well, if you like good pitching matchups, then tomorrow would be a good game to come out and watch, because it's Dallas Braden and Justin Verlander. Braden, Verlander. Verlander's back to his 2007 form. Lots of strikeouts. And Dallas Braden, look at the ERA, 3.26. Rayburn coming in. He'll hold on to this one, and that's the second out.
When you see who's standing beside the pitcher for tomorrow, is his catcher who's going to be catching tomorrow, Gerald Larry. Larry caught last night off. No more hit it well, maybe a little bit towards the end of the bat, but here's the battery for tomorrow. Larry caught last night, had a good play with a first and third. And he's trying to steal a run. Faked to second, got Suzuki to run down.
What's wrong with that picture?
Raymond's not there.
No Raymond.
Probably taking a break.
Taking a break. He has 9 innings of a break.
That's true.
2-0 to Jack Cust. Cust hitting .222 with 13 homers and 38 runs batted in. He was 0 for 3 in game 1 of the series. The 3-0 pitch is in there for a strike.
Two-run home run last night by Mark Ellis. He's the on-deck circle, trying to get some 2-out magic tonight.
Right at the knees for strike 2. So a full count to Cust. Strikeout and a line drive out here in the bottom of the second inning. There's the walk.
Well, last night with Cust at first and Suzuki, a couple of strikes on Landon Powell. The second strike, Cust took off, Laird faked, and once he faked, he got Kurt Suzuki in a rundown. And talking to Gerald about the play, and as we mentioned last night, pre-planned on both parts, but Gerald said as he looked the runner at third, which was Suzuki, he saw that, he said, both shoulders were looking at me, which meant he was running.
That's interesting.
That's when he looked at him and faked, figuring that with him in that position, that as soon as he lifted his arm to throw, Suzuki was going to take off down the line. It had nothing to do with the runner at second in Jack Cuss.
Well, that's pretty good catching by Gerald Laird.
Catch. Absolutely. Very heads up. And, you know, you're taught, as we mentioned last night, you're taught as a catcher to look the runner back. And if you see him kind of turn sideways, you know that he's thinking, or at least, but not in a position where he is already, as Gerald said, when you look down, you see two shoulders. That means the runner is looking right at you and coming down the line, and Zook had taken off. So very, very good play by the veteran Gerald Laird.
One to Ellis, and he swings at the slider and misses 1 and 2. So since coming back, Ellis 2 for 7. He's got the home run and had a double on Sunday. Behind in the count, 1 and 2 to Galarraga. Chopper, Galarraga off the mound. Steps and throws. Side retired. So we're headed to the third at the Coliseum. It's the Tigers 2 and the A's nothing. Well, Greg Papa hosts Chronicle Live. It comes your way tonight at 11 o'clock on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Greg's guest, Tiger manager Jim Leland, and Giants rookie pitcher Ryan Sadowski. So make sure you tune in to Chronicle Live tonight on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. First pitch to Cabrera is driven right center and deep, and it is off the wall. Cuss picks it up. And Cabrera is going to have a leadoff double, barely. And you watch a guy hit a ball like that to right center. Special. See where that pitch was? Down.
You can say that's not a bad pitch. And Cabrera almost hit it out. Probably a home run at Coors Field. Ball was smoked. Jack Cuss played it very well off the wall. The Karen coming back. The strong throw to second. So Gio looks like he might as well just start the inning pitching out the stretch.
Or have his warm-up pitches out of the stretch. High to Marcus Timms. Gonzalez had a 28-pitch first inning, a 22-pitch second inning. He needs more than anything. He's a couple quick innings. This one's popped up, middle of the diamond. Actually right at home plate where Suzuki makes the catch. So that's the first out.
Number 25, Ryan Rayburn.
So Marcus Timms, I don't know if he was thinking about getting the runner over. He is the cleanup hitter.
And by the way, you notice where he was standing when the ball came down in fair territory. At home plate. Which Jim Leland already is a little bit upset with his base running in the first inning.
That's a good call. So Marcus Thames has not been Ricky Henderson / Lou Brock on the bases today. Ryan Rayburn was credited with a double in the first. 1-1.
And the Tiger fans, when you mention Lou Brock, here's the pop-up high, and Marcus Thames maybe doesn't know where it is because he's standing at home plate, and Kurt Suzuki is in fair territory. And where's Thames? He's still at home plate.
This one's popped up, and it is over our head. Do not say that very often.
Well, watch Thames. See if he looks up, and he's looking back, and he should run because look what Suzuki. That is a fair ball. It's Lance Barksdale pointed out to everybody.
Curve is rolled foul.
Lou Brock, the 1968 National League champion St. Louis Cardinals. 13 hits in the World Series against the Detroit Tigers.
Really?
13 hits.
I didn't know that.
Cardinals were losers. As
I was going to say he needed some help. Huh?
Yeah, Mickey Lolich won 3 games for the world champion Tigers. Won an 84. But 68 was a big one. Won 103 games. And that's when you had 8 teams in the National League, 8 teams in the American League. The last year that was the case. Then the expansion. But you won the American League, you played the National League.
Yeah.
So that was right into the fire in the World Series.
4 World Series championships overall for the Tigers, going way back to 35 and 45, and then, as we mentioned, 68 and 84.
So if you're an A's fan, you think of just what you just said. 35, 45.
68, 84.
And the A's, 72, 73, 74, 89. And of course, the Tigers, one of the original teams, and been around a long time, yet just the 4 World Championships.
And they went to the World Series in 06, of course, when they beat the A's to get there, and lost to the Cardinals that year. Up the middle, and that's a base hit. Cabrera does not run real well. He's being waved home. The throw is cut off, and that's an RBI single for Ryan Rayburn. So 3-0 Tigers. Rayburn with a single and a double tonight.
Look at Rayburn's numbers: 239, 5 home runs, 18 runs batted in coming into tonight's game. You'd think he was.
He's the right-handed Babe Ruth.
He's hitting somebody. I mean, I hope he's hitting somebody else, but it's mostly the A's.
Yeah.
Throw a little bit offline. Kennedy cutting the ball, which is a good idea. No chance to get Cabrera.
And here's Brandon Inge. Suzuki keeps it in front of him. Now the A's jumped ahead in last night's game and just kept adding runs on. Different story tonight is it's the Tigers who have grabbed the early lead. Struck out swinging. That was to end the first inning. Swings through that one. So 1-2 the count. This will be pitch number 65 from Gonzalez. And another block by Kurt Suzuki, and he fires to first. You want to see a heck of a play? Watch this play by Suzuki. And then he almost threw the guy out at first.
Well, Rayburn almost well, at least thinking about going to second base, but Kurt, the ball bouncing way on front, then cleared himself as Brandon Inge went down. And that's how close it was. Giambi, a little bit surprised also with a throw coming to him.
Grounded to short, could be two. Cabrera, Ellis, double play. So a run for the Tigers on Ryan Rayburn's RBI hit. 3-0 Detroit, bottom of the third coming up. Bottom of the third inning, Tigers 3, A's nothing. Top of the order for the Athletics, Kennedy, Cabrera, and Holiday. A young Tiger fan and a young A's fan enjoying the game. A's still looking for their first hit in the ball game. Galarraga has walked 3. That one's driven to left center. Rayburn gets over there and he's got it. So 1 out in the bottom of the third. That brings us to our Subway Eat Fresh Ask Glenn and Ray question. You can log on to csncalifornia.com to post your question. Jones in Pacifica says, hey, last night Travis Buck was called up but was not here for game time. If they knew he was going to arrive during the second inning, could they have had a pitcher in the DH spot, then pinch hit with Buck when he got here? All right.
Huh?
Jones, you're much smarter than we are. Jones in Pacifica. All right.
So put the pitcher in the DH spot? Or
pitcher? Just, yeah, just Polanco. Tough out, but he throws him out. All right, here's the rule.
Oh, good. I'm glad you got a rule.
Clear this up.
Jeez.
The designated hitter named in the starting lineup must come to bat at least one time unless the opposing club changes pitchers. So the designated hitter has to bat one time.
So if he's a pitcher, he better be pretty bad because he's out of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, and the deal is, the question is, could they have had a pitcher in the DH spot, then pinch hit with Buck when he got here?
To let him be the DH.
Yeah. But the person in that DH spot, which is the pitcher, if that makes any sense, according to the rule, has to bat one time. That's what the rules say. And it's okay if you're more confused now than you were before we asked the question.
So I think the important thing about the question is that it was a pitcher and not the pitcher pitching that game.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
Because that, if it was the pitcher, then he's gone.
Yeah, he would have to hit showers. Kind of a check swing chopper. Cabrera, the first baseman, grabs it, steps on the bag. So a very easy inning for Armando Galarraga. Fourth inning coming up. Time to clean the diamond. 3-0 Tigers.
And then show where you can't be home to watch the A's on Comcast Sportsnet California. You can check out MLB.tv. You can log on to the internet to watch every out-of-market game of the season live. For more details, visit OaklandAthletics.com, where baseball is always on.
Maglio Ordonez leading things off here in the fourth inning. 3 runs and 6 hits for the Tigers. And it's quickly 2-0 to Ordonez, who had a base hit. A shallow pop-up to right field that Jack Tuss came in and dove for and popped out of his glove. This does not look like Ordonez is getting around on the fastball like he used to. Outside.
The key number for Maglio Ordonez and the Detroit Tigers, 504.
504. I know what you're talking.
Plate appearances that will kick in as option for 2010.
I think that's going to be a very interesting situation for the Tigers.
Well, see a little pinky finger on the end of the bat. Marco Scudero, another Venezuelan, does the same thing. Just get a longer bat. Bigger knob.
So the deal is, the option for next year for Ordonez is $18 million. It automatically kicks in if he makes 504 plate appearances. Now that's not at bats.
No,
plate appearances is everything. If you walk, it's a plate appearance.
Basically every time you go to the plate,
exactly,
it's an appearance.
Exactly.
And of course walks, sacrifices do not count as at bats.
But they do.
Yeah.
As plate appearances. And the deal is if you're a regular in the starting lineup, you're going to fly past.
Oh, yeah.
Last year, Ordonez played in 146 games. He had 623 plate appearances. So,
and I want to say that the 504 is a great curveball. Second great curveball he's thrown for a called strike 3. And I want to say 504
number 4,
number of plate appearances that will qualify you for a batting
yes,
championship.
you're right. That's right.
perfectly thrown. The curveball, backdoor, ended up on the heart of the plate. So far in this inning, Gio's pitched out of the windup, which is good.
First pitch to Adam Everett is outside. So this year, Ordonez has 267 plate appearances in 64 games. So he's the point is, if he stays healthy and stays in the lineup, he will easily pass it. I don't know that the Tigers want him to pass it. I mean, they can say whatever they want, but I don't think they have any desire to pay Miguel Ordonez $18 million.
Dave Dombrowski, the president, said it's basically in the hands of Jim Leyland, his manager, which, you know, give him a lot of credit because he makes the call. Jim Leyland's the manager. If he feels he deserves to be in the lineup, he's not going to be thinking about it. Most managers could care less about incentives or any sort of contracts. They want to get the best players out. Usually are not influenced by the front office as far as contracts. And in this case, an extension, or at least a. Well, that's a great inning for Gio.
Yes, it is. Couple of strikeouts. He's got 5 now in the game. So his first 3 up, 3 down inning of the ball game. Bottom of the 4th coming up. 3-0 Detroit. Three 3-0 Tigers, bottom of the 4th inning. Giambi, Suzuki, and Sweeney for the A's against Armando Galarraga. Swing and a miss. Straight changeup from Galarraga, and a pretty good one. Giambi walked in the 1st inning. Galarraga has walked 3 and struck out 2. And he has not given up a hit yet to the Athletics. And he's ahead of Giambi now, 1-2.
Is that guy taking a picture of Giambi getting a home run?
Yep.
Click.
Not that time, as Galarraga strikes out Giambi for the first out here in the 4th inning. Let's look at our Firestone leaderboard. It has to do with Kurt Suzuki. We think he's all-star worthy. His ranks among American League catchers, he's got the most hits, most doubles, most starts. 2nd in runs scored. The batting average is very good. Knocking in some runs. And you look at those numbers, and then you look around at who you think is worthy of going to the All-Star game for the Athletics, and Kurt Suzuki may be on top of the list.
Well, I think just as important, look around and see who Joe Madden will take as another catcher. Joe Mauer, I would think, is going to be the catcher, voted by the fans.
That's fair.
But I'm trying to think of around the American League. Another catcher who might be considered.
Well, you know what? See if we can dig one up. Everett makes a nice play. So American League catchers, huh?
All right, Seattle. No.
No.
Texas. Victor Martinez, but he's playing first base, catching.
Yeah, he's having a good year.
Yeah,
you're right.
he is.
Brzezinski. Probably
No.
not. Detroit. The Royals, no. The Angels, Mike Napoli's having a nice year. Mentioned Mauer.
Bad catcher Navarro is not having that great of a year. Posada's always.
Posada is hitting .272 with 10 home runs.
But A-Rod's going, Jeter's going.
Yeah.
You figured so. Might not want to take or have to take an extra Yankee.
Well, and too, remember last year Deanna Navarro made it,
Right.
and this year he's really struggling.
Yeah.
He's hitting just a shade over 200. Sweeney to the gap, and he'll one-hop the wall. Ryan Sweeney with those long strides is going to try for third. The throw is not in time, and it rolls toward the A's dugout. But boy, give Galarraga some credit. He dove to keep the ball from rolling, maybe into the A's dugout, and that would have given Sweeney home plate. But anyways, it's a triple for Sweeney.
Well, they got a slow slider, and boy, did he crush it. A little surprising, though, that he was going to try to stretch it into a triple with a couple of outs. But at that point, maybe yes, let's go for it. Boy, he hit second a little awkwardly, and you're right, when the ball hit Sweeney, carried him over, and Galarraga, who was backing up in the right position, had to dive to keep the ball from going in the dugout, or at least getting past him. It wouldn't have mattered if he'd gone in the dugout or not. Once it got past him, he would have been able to score. So there are the numbers. 8 hits last 11 at bats for Ryan Sweeney.
Rick Knapp, the pitching coach, a quick visit. And that's the first hit for the Athletics.
Number 1, Nomar Garcia-Parra.
So now the A's will try to get on the board as Garcia-Parra steps up. Nomar hit a line drive right at the left fielder. He's back in the second inning. Another slider, 2-0.
Well, as many sliders as Galarraga throwing, you go up as a hitter and you start think slider. You just look at it, and fastball, even though it's in the low 90s, if he's throwing a lot of sliders trying to get hitters to chase a slider, then start looking for it.
Now 3-0. Jack Cust waits in the on-deck circle. And it's low ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Garcia-Parra. So that is 4 walks issued by Galarraga, and we're in the 4th inning.
4 walks and not 1 scored. So although they are base runners, only good base runners when they cross the plate.
Cuss steps in. He walked in the second inning. Cuss now with 34 walks on the season. Line drive, center field. That'll get down for a base hit. Sweeney scores, and the A's are on the board. Jack Cust with RBI number 39.
Hit it just hard enough, but not too hard. And Jack Cust not waiting around. He walked in his first at bat. This ball just tailing away, and that's why he hit it softly as it went towards the end of the bat. Granderson playing a deep center field, could not get to it, and A's are able to plate, getting their first hit of the game and make it their first two with a walk sandwich between them.
Here's Mark Ellis. Outside. Mark bounced back to the pitcher to end the second inning. Galarraga has really not been sharp tonight.
Also, speaking of the slider, for right-hander, it's a pitch that, if it's down low, it's a tough pitch, and a lot of times it's out of strike zone. But if it's up a little bit, it's a perfect pitch to hit to right field.
Both guys, a lot of pitches in this ball game. Bounce just fouled on the third base line. There's the slider.
Yeah, and that's one that had been a good one hit to right field because it was up and it was moving away from Mark Ellis. Front side opened up just enough. Instead of thinking right field, he's thinking pull. And why not, the way he smoked the ball last night for a two-run home run.
Another slider, and Ellis strikes out. A run for the Athletics. A triple by Sweeney, an RBI single by Cuss. Fifth inning coming up, 3-1 Tigers.
Fans, time is running out to vote for your 2009 All-Star selections. You can help send your favorite A's player or players to the All-Star game by voting up to 25 times at OaklandAthletics.com. Log on and cast your ballot today. Vote exclusively at OaklandAthletics.com. Voting ends Thursday, July 2nd at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Daylight or Eastern Time. No Daylight Saving Time, just Eastern Time.
Granderson with a line single to right leading off the fifth. First hit in the series for Curtis Granderson. Gio's back in the stretch.
Yeah. Santiago can see us throwing the bullpen.
fan keeping score. Got everything you need on that scorecard. Kurt Young is going to visit the mound.
I like for one time a pitching coach go out the mound and the pitcher say, "Are you coming out here just to buy time for that guy warming up?"
I know what you're up to. And I think that's probably what Kurt Young just did.
Well, he knows he has to face Polanco once the pitching coach or manager goes to the mound. Has to face the batter that he just it's at the box, in the box, unless he's a pitcher in a DH.
Don't confuse our listeners and viewers any more than I already did.
Well, I'm just glad it was graphically put on the screen, so there was a rule.
Yeah, if we didn't have that rule, we would have really kicked it around.
No chance.
Now, the Rangers are beating the Angels tonight 9-3, and that game is in the 9th inning. So Texas is trying to wrap it up.
Joe Saunders, the starter for the Angels.
Gonzalez picks it out of the air. 1 out.
We've talked about a bunt and maybe a pitcher letting the ball drop to get a double play, but Polanco, a good hitter, smart hitter. As soon as the ball was in the air, watch what Polanco, the hitter, does. He runs hard to first base. He's upset, but if the ball had been dropped, it would have been spinning back towards foul territory. And you have to know which ones to try to drop, but think about dropping. But had Gio not caught the ball, would have spun back. Catcher Kurt Suzuki and would have been able to throw to second and get the lead runner. But a good play by Gio to be able to handle it himself.
In the dirt to Miguel Cabrera. Cabrera struck out swinging in the first, doubled and scored in the third. The double was his 15th of the year to go along with his 16 home runs. Two and 0. Granderson with 13 steals on the year. Although he's been like a one-way lead against Gio Gonzalez. Looks like he's been real comfortable getting a jump against Gio. He's got a big lead. Gonzalez has it. Fires to second. The out there to first, double play. Mark Ellis handled the pivot. And it's a 1-4-3 double play. Bottom of the 5th coming up. 3-1 Detroit. Tigers 3, A's 1, bottom of the 5th inning. The animated conversation between Ty Wall and Kurt Suzuki going over some strategy, I'm sure.
He said, get some runs.
Yeah.
That's the strategy for the night.
Top of the order for the A's.
Especially for Gio. He's pitching well. The last 3 innings have been very good. Actually, the last couple of innings have been very good. So, getting some runs and get him a win and a team win.
Kennedy with a walk and a fly ball to left field so far in the ball game. So 2 for 5 in the series. And 3-1.
Gio, a good play tonight and getting the 1-4-3 double play. But in his first start, that was not the case. He had a similar situation and threw the ball in center field, and a couple of runs scored as a result of what should have been a double play. So, on the left is what happened last week against San Francisco. Downs with the ball back to him, and it threw the ball into center field. And Sherholtz was safe at second, and this time it was Mark Ellison saying, "I'll take it." And Gio, of course, pitcher looks back to find out who is covering. And Mark Ellis able to make the adjustment, throw also a little bit to his left, but able to make the catch and turn the double play. Mark Ellis pretty smooth around.
Yes,
the
he
back.
is. That was not an easy play. So the walk to Kennedy is the 5th walk by Galarraga in this ballgame. So he is giving the A's opportunities. And it's probably driving his manager, Jim Leland, crazy. 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. The A's have 2 hits. There's a strike. High strike. Cabrera struck out in the first, grounded to second in the 3rd. Matt Holliday waits in the on-deck circle. So we pitch number 70 for Galarraga. Line drive. Inge grabs it. A shot, and somehow Brandon Inge got his glove up in time and made the play.
And he was 90 feet away. And that was it.
Right fielder, number 5,
Cabrera crushed it.
Holiday.
But Brandon Inge, and he's an excellent third baseman. There's no question that now with Adrian Beltre out for a couple of months, might open up the voting. Of course, it's managers and coaches who vote for the Gold Glove. Brandon Inge has played Gold Glove third base.
Bounce near the bag at second. Everett drops it, picks it up, and gets the out at second base. So 2 outs, but that was a for sure double play, and Everett just dropped it.
Perfect. And he just closed the glove too soon, and fortunately for him, the ball bounced up. Stepped on the bag and still threw to first, but Holiday runs well enough. This guy been wondering what's going on. Maybe it's Oakland.
It's not the field.
No, of course not. With Clay Wood and his crew.
So see if Giambi can make it hurt. The mistake by Everett will not be an error, obviously, on the stat sheet. Foul back by Giambi. Jason walked in the first, struck out in the 4th.
Well, Jason right now, there's not like or want to look up at the board and see the numbers that's up there when the batting average is shown.
Nope. We're not going to say it.
Nope.
Fouls that one back, and he's behind in the count 0-2. But I think you probably know what we're talking about. Tough stretch for Jason Giambi, no question about it.
Just mentioned 2 words, Mendoza line.
Or interstate, right? The problem for Giambi is the stretch of 2 hits in his last 24 at bats.
And the way Galarraga is pitching to him with a sinker running away, perfect pitch to go to the opposite field, and that was the pitch that he hit so well before he went to New York, and of course became more of a pull hitter.
So you think that's could be an issue?
Well, 7 years in New York and right field porch and 390 at left center. When he played for the A's, he was such a great opposite field hitter because he didn't put the shift on, but he had to make some adjustments because you can't expect to hit the ball out to left center at Yankee Stadium, whether the new one or the old one.
Well, you could make an argument then, if you look at his numbers with the Yankees, the batting average went down, but the home run total was still there for Giambi. I mean, last year is a perfect example. 32 home runs last year, but he hit 247.
Right.
Now he's older, maybe the bat's slowing down a little bit, but the point is he took advantage of the right field wall and hit a lot of home runs, which is a good thing, and it may have affected his average a little bit. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. 5th strikeout for Galarraga. The A's do not score in the 5th. 6th inning coming up, still 3-1 Detroit.
Is the 4th annual A's Dog Day presented by Apoderm Ultra Premium Pet Food. Tickets are $15 for each fan and dog, with a $5 dog feed being donated to Dogs for Diabetics. Each guest receives an A's bandana and goodie bag with dog product samples. Space is limited, so order your tickets now at OaklandAthletics.com. I guess Gio Gonzalez is to say he finished on a positive note.
Yep. Casilla in as Gio goes 5 innings. Santiago Casilla will face Timms, Rayburn, and Inge. 3 right-handed hitters.
'26th appearance for A's right-hander. Bullpen last night. 3 2/3 innings.
7 strikeouts. Tim's a base hit in the first, and he popped out to the catcher in the third. He hits one just foul down the third baseline. Well, it's a final down in Arlington, 9-5. Texas over the Angels. So that breaks the Angels' 6-game winning streak. So the Rangers pick up a game. They're now 1.5 back of Los Angeles. Adam Kennedy, a nice play. Throws wide, but the tag by Giambi. Timms is out. So that's the first out here in the top of the 6th, and Ryan Rayburn will step in.
25.
Kennedy, of course,
Rayburn.
played a lot of third base and a little bit longer throw than he's accustomed to throwing from second. Jason Giambi handled it well, even though the ball was kind of sinking into the runner. I was concerned about a first baseman hurting his wrist, his shoulder, making contact with the runner coming down the line.
Rayburn a double and a single. The single knocked in a run. So the Rangers hit 5 home runs in that game. Marlon Byrd hit 2. Nelson Cruz hit his 19th. Kinsler his 19th. Murphy his 7th. Feldman was the winner. He's 6-2. Saunders the loser, 8-5. So the Rangers hauled out the long ball. Speaking of long ball, that one's ripped left center, and it is off the wall. Holiday does a nice job picking it up, fires it back in, and Rayburn just in with a double. Very nice play by Matt Holiday in left field. The ball came back to him, and he spun around and made a good throw to second. Almost got Rayburn.
Well, there's an 0-2 pitch. It's a very bad pitcher's pitch right in the middle of the plate, and Rayburn, who has hit Gio Gonzalez hard tonight, comes up against Casilla, right-hander. That excellent throw, and Rayburn knew he'd hit it hard and knew that Matt Holiday throws well, and he played it perfectly off the wall.
So Brandon Inge will hit, 1 out and a runner in scoring position. Pitch is low. A couple of other hot teams won tonight. Tampa Bay won their 7th in a row. They beat the Blue Jays 4-1. Behind Matt Garza. And the Yankees won their 6th in a row. So the Yankees have won 6. The Rays have won 7. Yankees won 8-5 over Seattle. A-Rod hit number 565.
About the one in Baltimore with the Red Sox and the Orioles.
Well, we got an eye on that one because I believe the Red Sox are in the midst of blowing one badly. Well, if it's 11-10 in the 9th, then they did blow it badly. Is that right?
What were they up?
I thought they were up by quite a bit. BI, is that true? Were they up by quite a bit? We got 7-1, and then we heard 10-1.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Well, if it's 11-10 in the 9th, then it's a W. So we'll change that momentarily to the backstop. And going to third is Rayburn. So that's a big 90 feet right there for Detroit.
That ball just kept running inside to Kurt Suzuki, and it is a wild pitch and should be, considering Suzuki is outside and That's how far inside the pitch was off the plate.
So the infield comes in. 3-0 is the count to Inge. Maglia Ordonez waits in the on-deck circle.
And look out here. Brandon Inge is a very strong hitter. 3-0. Shocked that he wasn't swinging. Maybe Casilla was missing so much that Inge might have been thinking pitch around him and set up a double play with Ordonez.
Well, he won't take this one if it's in the strike zone. It's rolled foul. White Sox beat the Indians 11-4. That was in 7 innings in Cleveland. So.
That was a mercy because of rain.
Yeah, Tribe continues to struggle. That's their 4th consecutive loss and their 9th in the last 10 games. So that's an important game in the standings for the Tigers to watch. The win for the White Sox, their 4th in a row, and so they're 3.5 back, pending the outcome of this game right here. Twins won 2-1 over the Royals, so Minnesota, like they always do, hanging around. A little flare left field, and it is going to fall. No man's land. Rayburn scores. Inge has an RBI. It's his 52nd, and it's 4-1 Detroit. So the wild pitch really hurt him there.
That's a ball probably caught by Cabrera with the infield back. The wild pitch brought the infielders in. Made a good pitch. He jammed Inge, but see the distance and where the ball lands. That's 3 guys going after it with not one a chance to make the play.
Maglia Ordonez has a base hit and a line out. So 4 runs on 9 hits now for the Tigers. Swing and a miss. So indeed the Orioles beat Boston 11-10. A huge comeback. Get some goodies on that game. So the Yankees now 2.5 back. The Rays 4 back. They both pick up a game on the Red Sox.
What do you think they're thinking? The Red Sox nation.
Huh. They're not used to that. No, not with the great closer that they have. We don't know if he was involved in that. Probably. We'll find out. Mark Ellis ranging far to his left, and no. Very close. In fact, 3 or 4 of the A's defensive players were running off the field. They thought it was a double play. But what a play by Mark Ellis.
Well, it's almost impossible to even think of turning a double play, considering how far Mark Ellis had a range to his left with the 360 perfect throw to Cabrera and a strong throw back, and that could have gone either way. Giambi tried to convince Angel Hernandez that it was an out. So he left the bag, but there is the bang bang and just barely beat it.
Dusty Ryan takes a strike, so a fielder's choice for Ordonez.
See why the A's like to have Mark Ellis at second. Very smooth and an excellent second baseman.
Well, you wonder how many second basemen would actually go to second on that play. Guys, you could take the safe out at first. And got 2 outs. Runner on second. But the real good ones do exactly what Mark Ellis did and get the lead runner.
Human vacuum cleaner. You like those guys. You're like a Hoover.
0-2 to Dusty Ryan. Good slider, and that's a strikeout for Casilla, but a run for the Tigers. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Detroit 4, the A's 1.
Times 105 with the first 10,000 fans that day will receive a Kurt Suzuki player t-shirt brought to you by Supercuts. Tickets are on sale now at oaklandathletics.com, or you can call 877-493-BALL. Suzuki, number 8, of course, number 24 last year. And that number, more than likely, sometime in the future, will be retired. Ricky Henderson's number. So it's called Yogi Suzuki. Ed Newberry, of course, a great Hall of Fame catcher of the Yankees.
We're told the t-shirt, Ray, has puka shells on the front, as it should.
Well, I think he had his bobblehead with puka shells, so why not? He always wears them. That's part of him.
Tonight, Kurt has hit into a double play and grounded to short. That was pitch number 80 for Armando Galarraga. I'm sure Jim Leland would love to get a couple more innings out of him. He has weaved himself in and out of trouble in this game. But the only one that matters is how many runs has he given up. Just 1 so far. One to Suzuki. Sweeney in the on deck circle. There's a strike right at the knees to make it a full count. Sweeney will be followed by Garcia Parra. These have just 2 hits. Triple by Sweeney, single by Cust, and they happened in the same inning, and that's how the A's got their run. Toward Ordonez in right field, and that's the first out.
Well, he likes the slider. It's Galarraga, and threw it on 3-2 after painting the outside corner with a fastball.
Number 15, center fielder, Ryan Sweeney.
Sweeney a strikeout and the triple. First pitch is low. The 5 walks and the 5 strikeouts for Galarraga. I think the 5 walks ties his season high.
Remember one game, Jim Abbott, pitching for the Yankees, walked 10. Not 1 scored. Tonight, 5 have walked and not 1 has scored.
Polanco to his left, 2 outs. Well, and what you're always afraid of when you miss some chances, that at some point the guy will settle down and finish strong. So 2 outs for Nomar Garciaparra. A line drive to left for an out in the second, and he walked in the 4th.
And a smart walk. He got 4 sliders from Galarraga that weren't close. Nomar, smart enough hitter as he is, took all of them.
Inge has to wait, and then he flips it across. He's got a very strong arm. Garciaparra's out. 3 up, 3 down inning for Galarraga. 7th inning coming up from the Coliseum. 4-1 Detroit. Teriyaki $6 burger with grilled pineapple is back at Carl's Jr. Looks good. I could go for one right now. It's not too late for Carl's Jr. burger, is it? Right around 9 o'clock.
They serve the big cheeseburgers on the plane at midnight.
Oh man,
I'd say
good do those look?
It's all right at 9 o'clock.
Adam Everett will lead it off. 7th inning. 4-1 Detroit.
Wonder why you can never lose weight during the season when you're getting cheeseburgers served from midnight to 2 in the morning.
And you know, you're always thinking, well, I'm not going to get one of those cheeseburgers on the plane. And then somebody behind you orders it, and they walk by with it, and you look at it, and you're like, okay, I got to get one of those. That looks really good.
The best thing to do is just go to sleep. That way you wake up and say, oh, they've passed the food. I missed it.
Yeah, but if you sleep on the plane, sometimes your partner gives you a hard time. I mean, it's because you like me, huh?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
You can definitely sleep on the plane. I know that.
Yeah. Everett, Granderson, and Polanco. He's trying to keep it close. So you want to hear about that Red Sox game? Red Sox led 10-1 going to the bottom of the 7th inning.
Oh, wow.
In Baltimore. The Orioles scored 5 in the 7th and 5 more in the 8th and hung on to win it 11-10. So it was not a walk-off. It was the run scoring in the 7th and the 8th inning. See, John Smoltz started that game. Huh. Baltimore 11, Boston 10. The final.
Did Papelbon ever get in the game?
Well, Papelbon, he did pitch. Yeah, but we are told that the damage was done when he came in the game, which I don't know exactly what happened with that, but that is a major comeback and done against a very good Boston Red Sox team. 3-2 to Everett. Suzuki fires to first in time. The young legs of Kurt Suzuki.
Yeah, he's very quick out from behind home plate.
Number 28, Curtis Granderson.
He works at it, very strong. Made sure he cleared himself, did not throw into the runner, and like Everett was able to stay inside the running line or the running path.
Top of the order, and Curtis Granderson. Granderson had a base hit in the 5th. He walked and scored in the 1st, reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd, so he's been on base all 3 times. Heads up. About once a game. Oh. Watch it, sir.
Oh, wow, that hurt just watching.
Had one of those earlier in the homestand.
Well, those baseballs are dangerous whether you're actually hit by one or you hurt yourself trying to get one.
1-2 the count to Granderson. So a little work for Casilla. He's thrown 31 pitches so far in the ball game.
And last night it was Wirtz, Ziegler, and Springer who finished out the game for the Athletics. 3 2/3 innings. A win for Brett Anderson.
Long look by Casilla. He's ready. Granderson one around. So the strikeout, the 2nd for Casilla.
As I mentioned, Granderson does strike out a lot and not able to hold up his swing on a 2-seam fastball down and away.
Polanco.
So Polanco will step in. Polanco has a big hit in this game, and it happened early. Granderson led off the game with a walk, and then Polanco hit a 2-run homer. It was his 5th of the year. Since then, he has struck out swinging. And on a bunt attempt, he popped it up, and Gonzalez caught it, the pitcher, Gio Gonzalez. So Polanco 1 for 3 and 1 for 7 in the series. Remember, a day game tomorrow, 12:30. We will come on the air. Dallas Braden and Justin Verlander. So make sure you tune in to Comcast Sportsnet California. Cabrera, long ways to his left, throws on the run. Makes the play. Casilla thought about reaching up and grabbing for it and pulled his throwing hand back. Cabrera made the play.
It's the 10th 2007 Jack Cust in Detroit. 7 ribbies, 3-run double grand slam, a career high. He was all over the place. Tata gave it up, and how about this? That's a long one. Left center, so Jack Cust with a bash from Nick Swisher. 2007. Of course, that was Jack Cust's first year.
Yep.
With the Athletics. Joined the club in May, about May 6th, and just has been on a tear ever since.
Swing and a miss by Cust from Armando Galarraga. Springer starts to loosen for the A's. It's quickly 0-2. Galarraga walked 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. And as Ray pointed out last inning, none of them have scored. Cust with a walk and an RBI single. A's will have an off day on Thursday, but they will, of course, be traveling to Cleveland. That'll be C. Joel Zamaya, lefty and a righty for the Tigers. It will be a 10-game road trip for the Athletics, longest of the year. 3 in Cleveland, 3 in Boston, and then 3 in Tampa Bay. So it's a 9-game trip, 10 days is what I should say. There's
an off day.
Off day.
Beautiful. St. Petersburg, Florida.
What a stop. Cleveland, Boston, and St. Petersburg. 9 games, 10 days leading up to the All-Star break for the Athletics. And then the All-Star break, of course, the 13th, 14th, and 15th of July. These will dive back into their division.
Start with 28 consecutive games. Thanks to the makeup game on the Thursday in New York.
3-2 pitches high. Seth Cust is aboard. With June coming to a close today, there is the July schedule for the Athletics. You see the All-Star break, and then there you go.
There, and this is the makeup game of the rain out in New York.
So that would have been a day off.
Yeah. And you carry that forward. It's 17. You had another 11 in August, and it's 28 consecutive games. July and August.
And how about 2 trips to Boston in the same month? 3 weeks apart. Actually, less than that, 2.5 weeks apart. We like Boston. I don't know if we like it that much. Ellis hits one well, but in the ballpark. As Granderson to left center, he's got it. But you mentioned all those games in a row, Ray, but the players, the A's players, voted in favor of that. Is that correct?
Yes, they did.
They could have played probably a doubleheader one of those games in New York, but that was not the case. They decided to play the makeup game on the off day. The lefties coming in. Bobby C. He'll face Adam Kennedy. So Galarraga is gone after 6 1/3. He leaves with a 4-1 lead. Armando Galarraga goes 6 1/3. Just 2 hits, the 6 walks, but certainly better than his last start against the Athletics, which was on May 17th in Detroit when the A's knocked him out in the first inning. So Jim Leyland brings in the lefty Bobby C. to face the left-handed hitting Adam Kennedy. 35th appearance for C. Very good as of late. He is not allowed a run in his last 14 appearances. Rolls that one foul. Bobby C. his 4th year with the Tigers. And the hard-throwing Joel Zamaya is ready in the bullpen. He's the right hand.
And he is a hard thrower. There's no doubt about that.
There's a strike, 1 and 2 to Kennedy.
Just enough of a drop down from the sidearm that just maybe get the hitter to think or flinch a little bit.
Kennedy has walked twice and hit a fly ball to left field. Lays off that one. The A's received 6 walks from Galarraga. They're trying to do something with the final one, which is Jack Cust at first base. Kennedy's going to get a new bat.
Cliffy and Matt, boy, they've taught him well. Boy, the bat was out in a heartbeat. Tim is taken over. These guys a little bit older, but Cliffy and Matt, I guess that's, they just passed it on.
Teach that class in the offseason. Matty and Cliffy how to be a bat boy class. Pop up, shallow left. Anderson's going to come in and get there. And that's the second out. Jim Leland's coming out, so it was indeed a one-hitter appearance for Bobby C, and he got the left-handed hitter. So Joel Zamaya coming in to face Cabrera. Sportsnet California is brought to you by Honda. You can depend on your Honda dealer for great leases and low financing. Bottom of the 7th inning, 2 outs. Jack Cust is at first base. Jim Leland goes to the bullpen to bring in Joel Zamaya.
Well, all you have to do is just listen. It says it all about Joel Zamaya. And there's a... He throws between 96 and 100 miles an hour. 24th game. 1 for 5 in save opportunities. With the walks to strikeouts, 16 walks, 25 strikeouts, and that's a new pitch, the curveball.
And Cabrera is going to beat it out. And the first baseman, Miguel Cabrera, I don't know if it was necessarily his ball. He really never went after it. Zamaya took kind of a funky route to the ball coming off the pitcher's mound. But it is a little bit of no man's land when a ball is hit there.
Hey, throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball and drop a curveball. And I think it's more of Zamaya cover the bag and let Cabrera, first baseman, field the ball and try to get back to him.
Yeah, now that you see the replay, you're right. I think Zamaya was going to first.
Yeah.
So the hitting streak rolls on for Orlando Cabrera. It's now at 13. And Matt Holliday's the tying run, and he takes a breaking pitch outside. So the A's get a break.
The scouting report on Zamaya with his fastball between 96 and 100. His changeup at 88 to 90 is harder than a lot of pitchers' fastball.
I guess the question would be, unless your changeup really had some great downward movement, maybe acted like a splitter, would you want to throw a changeup at 88 or 89?
No, because it's a hitter's speed.
That's hit speed. Right there. Now, if you got, like I said, some downward movement, that's a little bit of a different story.
He's mostly fastball, curveball pitcher. That one at 102.
102, folks.
Yeah, I mean, I think it took a time for the gun to finally believe that it's going triple digits. You know, first couple of pitches, the gun said, no, that's not true.
It had to reset itself.
I didn't know the scouting report.
So 1-2. Zamaya and Holiday. Good matchup. The high fastball at 103.
The fans are looking at the board.
Reached back for a little extra.
If you're a hitter, you just have to hope that he's close to the plate. You don't have to try to get out of the way of that one.
And now 3-2 as he misses badly with a breaking pitch.
And that pitch there, one that usually thrown 2-2, the curveball, and fastball is the #1 pitch that now Holiday can think he's got to get a fastball and be shocked if he doesn't.
Runners take off, and Holiday hits one down the right field line, hits it well, but it's going to slice foul. So a fastball that was a little up and away, and Holiday drove it a long way to right field. So Cust and Cabrera will again be off with the pitch. Tigers shade Holiday toward right center. Another ball hit hard. This one on the ground. Quickly gets to the Tigers bullpen. Another foul ball. Looks like maybe Holiday had a little better timing on that one, as he had a good swing.
Right, you got to start it very, very quickly. Still caught it back behind the plate. I mean, that's 103 miles an hour. Discipline enough to swing at just a strike.
The tying run at the plate in Matt Holiday. Another foul ball. So the battle continues between Zamaya and Holiday. I guess at this point, Ray, you just can't even let the thought of a breaking ball enter into your mind if you're Matt Holiday.
Well, and I don't know that Zamaya would, just because he doesn't have the same type of confidence and control he has with his fastball. Plus, how would you get beat with your second pitch?
Popped up, shallow right. So Zamaya gets Holiday, and the A's strand a pair here in the 7th. On to the 8th, 4-1 Detroit. Tigers with a 4-1 lead. We've reached the 8th inning at the Coliseum. Ray Fosse, Glenn Kuiper, you're watching A's baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Third pitcher of the night for the A's, Russ Springer, comes in. Springer pitched in last night's game. Gave up a hit and a strikeout in 1 inning of work through 18 pitches. So back-to-back nights for Springer. He will face Cabrera, Timms, and Rayburn. A 1-for-3 night for Cabrera. 2 for 6 in the series. Last year, the last couple of years, the Tigers had Gary Sheffield right in the middle of their lineup. They let him go right at the beginning of the season. Not without paying him, though. They are paying Gary Sheffield $13.6 million this year in the final year of his contract.
To play for the Mets.
Play for the Mets.
Gary Sheffield hit a home run, his 10th home run. His last name. The only player on the Mets team to have 10 home runs.
Yeah, he's played pretty well for them, and he's done a decent job in the outfield, from what I understand.
They've got some injuries, though. Beltran, Delgado, Reyes, a few guys on the disabled list.
And they lost again tonight. The Mets, they are now 2 games under 500 and have lost 5 in a row. Milwaukee beat them 6-3 at Miller Park. The Brewers won and the Cardinals lost. So it's a 2-game lead now for Milwaukee in the NL Central as Cabrera's aboard. So Marcus Timms will
Number
hit.
33, Marcus Timms.
Timms is 1 for 3. In that Cardinals game, Giants beat the Cardinals 6-3, but Albert Pujols hit home runs 29 and 30. Final score was 6-3, and Pujols knocked in all 3 runs. He's got 30 homers and 77 RBIs.
Well, as we all know, this morning news, the vote, he is the best, voted as the best player in baseball, and I think he's well-deserved recognition because he is outstanding.
Yeah, he sure is. Swing and a miss, 1-2. He hit a couple of long home runs tonight against Randy Johnson.
Good curveball from Russ Springer.
Another curve, this one outside to even the count at 2-2. Russ Springer's been pitching much better as of late. Strike 3 call, breaking pitch right there. So that is 8 strikeouts tonight by A's pitchers.
Well, Russ Springer struck out the final batter last night of the Tigers, making it 14 strikeouts for the A's as a pitching staff last night. Good breaking ball, threw one in the dirt, swung this one, buckled his knees, and a called 3rd strike.
This is Josh Anderson, his first at bat tonight. Breaks his bat, a little pop-up that Kennedy. That's about as shallow of a pop-up as you'll see hit.
Number 15, Brandon Inge.
So 2 outs here in the 8th.
Actually, it's kind of nice to see Rayburn not in the lineup any longer.
Yeah.
So he hit 3 balls very hard tonight. The bat. Fortunately, the ball was caught. And then it was a jagged edge that came after.
Swing and a miss by Brandon Inge. Inge is 1 for 3 with an RBI single. That was in the 6th inning. So Inge now with 52 runs batted in on the year.
There's a bat in front of him and then just swings hard.
Cabrera tries to get the out at second and he cannot do it. He got a glove on it.
Relatively easy play, and figured he's got to be able to, once he caught it there, but the problem once he dropped the ball and kicked it, Markel's doing his best to stretch and try to get the out, and it's going to be an error on Cabrera.
So that is the 12th error of the year on Orlando Cabrera. So 2 on, 2 out, and Ordonez fouls the first pitch off. Ordonez is 1 for 3 tonight. Got 3 home runs and 24 runs batted in for the season. Towards center, Sweeney goes back. Now he's got to come in. Tracks it down. A couple of runners stranded by the Tigers. Bottom of the 8th coming up. It'll be Giambi, Suzuki, and Sweeney. 4-1 Detroit. Polanco, he hit a 2-run homer. So the Tigers quickly had a 2-0 lead on Polanco's 5th home run of the year. They thought they had a shot. This was Kurt Suzuki hitting to the 5-4-3 double play in the first inning. A's would get on the board in the 4th. RBI single by Jack Cuss scores Ryan Sweeney, who had tripled. The Tigers have since then added on a run in the 3rd and a run in the 6th. So AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. 4-10-2 for Detroit, 1-3-1 for the A's. Jason Giambi leading it off against Joel Zamina. That one's hit right center. But Ordonez gets over there. He's got it. So Jason Giambi is 0 for 3 now with a walk.
Number 8, catcher, Kurt Suzuki.
Kurt Suzuki will hit. So the A's had 7 runs and 11 hits last night. They had a combined 36 hits in the last 3 games going back to Saturday night. But tonight, just 3 hits. And there's the Zamaya curveball that snaps in for a strike.
And that's the type of curveball that kind of reminds you of Hall of Famer Nolan Ryan. Throws 100-mile-an-hour, you throw a curveball, you tip your hat. If it's a strike, I don't care if I'm embarrassed, just don't hit me. Because if he hits you with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, forget it.
Rather be embarrassed than be hit. 2 quick outs here as Suzuki flies to center. Kurt with an 0 for 4 night.
And with Zamaya, of course, he had Bobby C in for 1 batter.
Center fielder,
Adam Kennedy, but with Zamaya, it doesn't matter whether it's left or right. You throw 100 miles an hour, just throw it.
A little maintenance by Joel Zamaya. So Ryan Sweeney will hit with 2 outs. A strikeout, a triple, and a run scored, and a ground out to second. So 1 for 3 for Ryan Sweeney. There's the fastball, 101 miles an hour.
Well, threw the first from the 100, 101. And I'd say got a chance to go 103. Just 101. Closer. Yeah, it's a closer. With looking at a heck of a setup guy and Joe Zamaya. Shed a few pounds, has Zamaya, and it's not affected his velocity. You know, a guy that throws as hard as he does with all the scoreboards that show the velocity. He's got a peak.
Oh, yeah. How good is he feeling? He sees 103. The breaking ball. It's got a sharp break to it, but it stayed outside.
Should not be allowed, really. Should not be allowed to throw anything but a fastball. If you throw 100 miles an hour.
That's a good baseball
should be a rule.
Hit hard right at the first baseman Cabrera. So Sweeney hits another ball hard, but this one's an out, and it's a 3-up, 3-out inning for Joel Zamaya. 9th inning coming up. Right, go deep with Sportsnet Central tonight at 10:30 over on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Tonight's topics: baseball coverage between A's and the Giants. We'll hear from Steph Curry. Josh out in surgery. We'll have a full update on that. Scott Reese and Damon Andrews and Sportsnet Central. Edgar Gonzalez will take over here in the top of the ninth for the Athletics. Big curveball. Dusty Ryan swings and misses. Edgar Gonzalez last pitched on Saturday. He threw 2 innings and got knocked around by the Rockies. He ended up throwing 64 pitches in 2 innings. Came on in relief of Trevor Cahill. Dusty Ryan, the young catcher, 0 for 2. He has walked once, struck out twice. Swing and a miss. An even slower curve. That one at 74 miles per hour. The A's pitching staff striking people out again tonight. That is 9.
Number 4, Adam Everett.
A real slow curveball, and you just try to think of a slow pitch softball league, and you can't wait back long enough.
"36 strikeouts in the last 3 games for A's pitchers. It's not necessarily a staff that is a big strikeout group, but they certainly have been. The last 3 games, that's Sunday, Monday, and tonight. On Saturday night, they also had 9 strikeouts.
"21, 22, 21.
Adam Everett drives one deep to left, and it's off the out-of-town scoreboard. So Adam Everett with a double.
Final game of this series is tomorrow with the Tigers, and it's a double play Wednesday. First pitch 12:35, and you can get Plaza Reserve and outfield tickets for just $2 and hot dogs for just $1. Courtesy of Bart. Order tickets online now at oaklandathletics.com or call 877-493-BALL. A chance to come out and see the A's. Of course, we'll be on the road for 10 days, 9 games, and then the All-Star break for 3. So A's will not be back at the Coliseum until 2 weeks from Thursday.
July 16th.
Angels will be in town.
Should be nice weather, nice and warm. I thought it was interesting when the guys from the 1989 World Championship team were here. They were talking about the good old days, but a lot of them mentioned those weekday games at the Coliseum, how much they enjoyed playing in those. Big crowds, beautiful weather.
They used to call them business person specials, and a lot of business people would leave work and come out 5, 6, 7 innings, depending on how much time they felt they could take off. And so a lot of shirts and ties. Bright sunny afternoon, and
Granderson is hit by the pitch, so he will go to first. So 2 on and 1 out for Polanco.
Number 14, Placido.
Try to scoot out of the way, but in his right foot. Left-handed batter, so he is on base again, Granderson.
So Everett and Granderson, very good speed on the bases. Polanco handles the bat, and Miguel Cabrera in the on-deck circle. So Edgar Gonzalez has his hands full here. Keep the Tigers off the board. In the bottom of the ninth, the A's will have Garcia, Parr, Cust, and Ellis. 2-0. Line drive, right field, that's a base hit. Cust has to race over to cut it off. It's going to knock in a run. Granderson to third. Everett scores, and it's 5-1 Detroit. That is Placido Polanco at his best.
Well, a real slow curve got Ryan, but since then the off-speed pitches have been hit. Fastball 2-0 down the middle. Polanco just slapped the ball over Giambi's head. At least Cuss was able to get to the ball to keep Polanco at first and keep the double play in order if you get Cabrera to hit it on the ground. So a 2-run home run in the first and a RBI single in the ninth for Polanco. 3 of the 5 runs scored by the Tigers.
This one's hit very high, shallow center. Granderson bluffs off third. He'll go back as Ellis makes the catch. So Gonzalez gets a big out on Cabrera.
Number 33, Marcus Sims.
Watch the bat go.
That's why he was looking at his hands. Like he's a little more concerned about if you're going to hit somebody and hurt them instead of fly ball. Of course, he knew it also was too shallow to score Granderson.
Gonzalez sneaks a strike in with the curveball to Marcus Timms. And then the fastball.
Recoil.
And the recoil. Granderson at third. Polanco is the runner at first. Kurt Suzuki with the block. Well, the other game still being played, the Padres and the Astros in San Diego. Rockies just defeated the Dodgers 3-0. Jason Marquis threw a 2-hit shutout at Dodger Stadium for Colorado. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Edgar Gonzalez gives up one. Could have been worse. Bottom of the ninth coming up. Garciaparra is going to lead it off. It's 5-1 Detroit. Cache Creek Splash of Cash. It's giving away $12,000 cash daily. Visit cashcreek.com for details. Bottom of the ninth inning from the Coliseum. A's got work to do. They trail 5-1 to the Tigers. Omar Garcia-Parra is going to lead it off. He'll be followed by Jack Cust and Mark Ellis, and they will face the closer for the Tigers. His name is Fernando Rodney. 17 for 17 in save opportunities, and this is not a save situation for Rodney, but he will try to close it out. First pitch to Garcia-Parra is low.
A lot of this, of course, with Zumaya pitching an inning of the third. Just the one hit to Cabrera.
So Rodney has yet to find the strike zone. Rodney, 32 years old, from the Dominican Republic. Saved 16 games last year for the Tigers. Make that 13 games last year for the Tigers. Just a bit inside, and it's a walk. So good start to the bottom of the ninth. 7 walks issued by Tigers pitchers. The first 6 by their starter, Armando Galarraga. So here's Cust. 2 walks and a single for Cust. He has the only RBI in the game for the A's. It was an RBI single in the 4th inning. First pitch is high.
Now, Rodney was warming up in the bullpen with a 3-run lead, the Tigers. Then Polanco got the base hit, became a 4-run lead, which means it went from save situation to a non-situation. And some way, a fresh question. Can a closer create his own save situation? No.
No. No, he cannot. Some have tried. Brandon Lyon will start to loosen up. He's got experience as a closer.
So from the A's standpoint, that Rodney's trying to create a save for Lyon.
That's true. Three-run lead when you start the inning. That will get you a save. Swing and a miss, and that pitch out of the strike zone, and Cust chased it. Have we seen that one?
I have not seen that one.
Gloves holding the gloves.
The sliding gloves put on the hands to hold the hitting gloves. You don't want to have sliding gloves. Get pine tar or batting gloves and get dirt on them. Pine tar.
Josh Anderson on the warning track makes the catch. Yeah, we've explained it many times why guys do that. Just protects their fingers while they're sliding.
Number 14, second baseman, Mark Ellis.
So 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Mark Ellis will step in. First pitch to Mark Ellis is outside. So again, the Angels lost tonight. They were beaten by the Rangers, and the Seattle Mariners lost. The Mariners lost Adrian Beltre, their third baseman, as well. He had surgery today. He will be out 6 to 8 weeks.
There's a lot of talk about whether the Mariners would be buyers or sellers as the trading deadline approached. And one of the guys might.
Did he do it again? Yes, he did. Mark Ellis, a 2-run homer. It's 5-3. I'm a buyer. How about that?
Well, welcome back, Mark Ellis. And fastball last night, and Fernando Rodney, a fastball tonight. And Mark Ellis just dropped the head. So both second basemen going almost identical territory. Ellie a little bit more, actually over that Barbecue Terrace, where Polanco, the second baseman of the Tigers, right down the line.
Here's Kennedy, and he needs to get aboard. He's once again trying to get that tying run to the plate. Or maybe better yet, get the winning run to the plate. 1-1 to Adam Kennedy, who is 0 for 2. He's got 2 walks and 2 fly balls to left field. Brandon Lyon, who's been thrown down in that bullpen, and he's ready to go. A's fans trying to keep it going here in the bottom of the 9th. That's a base hit center field. So the A's will get the tying run to the plate. Kennedy's first hit.
Rodney with an outstanding palm ball, but it seems like it's all fastballs, and maybe that's because of the 4-run lead he did have, but now it's down to 2 with Cabrera hitting.
38-0 when leading after 8 innings. And the lead was a 4-run lead, remember. We have seen the A's do that in the last week. Make noise in the late innings. Here's Cabrera, 1 for 4. That pitch is outside. Cabrera had an infield hit in the 7th inning to extend his hitting streak to 13 games. Andrew Bailey slightly tossing in the A's bullpen. There's that. Palm ball, Ray, is that what you said?
Yeah, it's palm ball, and 6 years is his changeup, but it has movement, as it showed there, almost like a screwball. You stuff the ball back in your palm, basically, and it's the word palm ball.
Grounded to short. Everett to second for 1, and that will do it. So the Tigers finish it with a 6-4-3 double play. So the A's make some noise in the bottom of the 9th, but come up short. They get a 2-run homer from Mark Ellis. But game 2 of this series goes to the Detroit Tigers by a final score of 5-3.